Let's get it. Let us get it. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Late Night Show with your host, Dr. Kojo. Look at that staccato speech. We're here tonight and we're having fun. We are an hour late. I know. Shame on me. I said six. I've been saying six-ish, but six-ish is not 6:59 California time. That's damn near seven. So yeah, my apologies. Your boy is late, but what did the great Greek philosopher Drake say? He said, better late than never, but never late is better. So obviously I want to be never late, but I got ADHD, so we're gonna take that better late than never. We're gonna take that. So we have a very exciting topic to talk about tonight. Man, I'm so excited to be in the live stream. I just want to say I really appreciate y'all, and I'm happy to be here. This live stream, this is so fun to do. Just letting y'all know from my perspective, these things are so fun to do. It's just hard to get here on time. And I was in the house the whole time, but transitions can be tough for those of us who have neurodivergence. So it's not an excuse, it's just an explanation. Your boy will do better. Go ahead and use the comment section to let me know where you're checking in from. Let me see everybody who's here, and then we're going to get into it. We're talking about 4 ways that autism can look like bipolar disorder. Now, you can't have both, okay, but I'm not going to confuse y'all for now, okay? I won't confuse y'all. We'll talk about it. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. And this is also a good time for me to mention that I will be live in Houston, Texas on April the 26th at the All Jokes Aside Comedy Club. April the 26th is going to be the kickoff for the big Neurodivergent Comedy World Tour. And there's no better town to kick this tour off than Houston, Texas. For ticket information, hit the link in the bio, and I hope to see you there. I hope to see you there. Okay? And for those of y'all here on the live stream, thank you for your attention. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all, and I love y'all. Okay? I love each and every one of y'all. See the love coming in from TikTok. Nani's Place, what's up? Chloe, Thumper Bunny, Australia in the house. Anelli has ADHD too. Hanaya, Aurora, good to see you. Good to see you. Now, Novelty is the first comment, so let me give Novelty that love. Novelty's checking in from California. I'm so excited to find this live. I watch all your content. Okay. You gonna make me dance. I'm blushing. Can you see? I'm blushing right now. You're making me blush. Stop it. Thank you so much for the love. We have Kashta checking in from San Bernardino, diagnosed bipolar 2 in 99, ADHD in 08, autism in 2022. Kashta, thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing. Kasha, it says that I froze. Did I freeze? I hope I didn't freeze. If I've frozen, let me know. Let me know. My internet has been tripping. I don't know what's going on with my internet, but it has been tripping. So let me know if y'all can still see me. But Kasha, thank you for sharing. And yes, you can have bipolar, ADHD, and autism. It's possible to have all three. So thank you for sharing. So that people know that this can definitely be a thing. But when you know that you have these conditions, you can position yourself for success. Because bipolar 2, well, okay, now I'll just talk for me. Now, I think I'm the best in the world at what I do. So psychiatry is difficult, but I get it. Bipolar 2 is not difficult to treat. ADHD is not difficult to treat. Autism is not difficult to treat. The hardest parts about these 3 things is really just catching it. Catching it is the hardest part. Florida in the house. Alaska in the house. Okay. Leilani, our moderator, checking in from New York City. New York City in the house. Calgary, Alberta in the house. And sometimes our psychiatrists don't know our diagnoses. Like, we're all human. So even those of us who are paid to know may not know. And yes, anxiety is it comes with all of these, almost always. British Columbia, Canada in the house. Washington, D.C. in the house. Bipolar 2 is hard to catch. I think Bipolar 2 is the hardest to catch out of all of them. And I'm good at what I do, but Bipolar 2 is hard for me to catch. It's hard for me to catch. So I'm admitting that. Lou says, have you been diagnosed with anything? What haven't I been diagnosed with? I got everything. You have why do you have a suit? Are you going somewhere? I'm coming right here. I dressed up for y'all. I woke up and I felt like being excellent today. So I put the suit on so I could feel good. All right. So it says I'm lagging. Let's get this internet connectivity thing like straightened out. I'm gonna hop off of Wi-Fi on my phone. Let me know. Can y'all see me? Am I good? I appreciate that. This right now is my favorite suit. This is my favorite suit, Jessica. I like this suit, Jessica. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I like this suit. All right, so y'all can see me. Okay, we're good. Not lagging. Somebody said I was lagging earlier, and I believed it because my internet has been tripping out of. I want to fight my internet. Mickey Ficky. No lag on my end. Coming in clear. Okay. All right. We're good. All right. So Kasha had to switch to Facebook. So maybe it's something with my LinkedIn setup. I don't know why. Because I want people to get my live stream on LinkedIn. I know LinkedIn is for, being professional and, I'm wearing LinkedIn attire today, but I'm not the most professional. I'm a professional, but, I'm me. But I still want LinkedIn to get this content. But thank you for switching over to Facebook. We are not experiencing any issues on Facebook Live. To my knowledge, there's no issue on YouTube. Like my YouTubers are commenting, and I appreciate that. I try to make my content things that you can have a fifth grader watch and get it. So I like the fact that people are understanding the content and that it's very shareable. TikTok, we're not having any issues. TikTok, I see Casey just switched to fiber internet and is life changing. I might need some fiber in my internet too. My internet constipated, Casey. Let me get some fiber in my internet. Hello, Lawrence. Lawrence says you're cleaner than the Board of Health. I don't know how clean they are, but okay. It says you may need to change the file size. No, this is regular 1080p, so I don't know what's going on. This is like regular HD. It's not like super I don't know. So it's freezing a little bit on YouTube. It does freeze for a moment. All right, my TikTokers, let me know. Am I freezing? Am I freezing on TikTok? Am I freezing on TikTok? And Sheehan, I appreciate you on TikTok. I see you. TikTok had the video lag too. So Chloe's telling me that I was. All right, so now people are saying that nope. Audio is good, video is choppy. Why am I choppy, twin? Somebody says, actually talk about something. Somebody's a little impatient. You're impatient, twin. All right, okay, all right. People are saying that I'm not choppy. It's finding me. Okay, internet gods, please. We pay good money for this internet. Please allow me to do this live stream with little to no problems. And the Wi-Fi does have ADHD. It does. Switch to Facebook. Let's TikTok to watch on here. So TikTok is lagging. TikTok was lagging. Maybe it's the apps. Either way, I'm gonna do my best. To put on a good live stream for y'all, and let's just hope that the internet gods do what they have to do. Okay, because we're here to talk about 4 ways that autism can look like bipolar disorder. This is a very internet gods. Y'all hear me? This is a very important live stream. So behave. All right. YouTube has autism as well. YouTube got autism and ADHD. Okay. And this is probably what I may have to do, but I hope I don't have to do this. If we're having more issues, I'm gonna go ahead and reboot, and then we'll just come back on here. But let's see if we can go without. Let's see if we can go without. All right. So somebody on TikTok asks, do people with autism end up with bipolar? No, they are two separate things, okay? But they can look like the same thing. All right. And if y'all are new to my content and what I talk about, I am always a big fan of getting a diagnosis, because when you know what you have, then you're not just throwing darts at the wall hoping something sticks. You know, okay, I got bipolar. Okay, I got autism. Okay, I got depression. Okay, I got whatever the heck it is. But once you know what you have, you can put together a game plan, and then you're going to be good to go. That's the biggest problem with all of this. People don't know what they have. Magenta says, I hate that I understand your videos. Then Ann says, I love that I understand your videos. That's funny. And Jessica saying, only if you are 30 women over 30, you end up with all. You can have multiple. You can have multiple. You can have multiple. And I know Jessica said she has multiple. Then my guy up top, I forgot his name. I forgot his name. Kashta. Kashta said he has autism, ADHD, and bipolar. Okay. And somebody says, I was diagnosed with so many things when I was younger, including bipolar. Now I'm 48, and no, it was ADHD. So, right, a lot of times you don't know if it's all three or if it's one that can masquerade and look like all three. And I think I mentioned this before in our live stream, but autism by itself, let's just take autism by itself. Autism alone can look like bipolar and ADHD and anxiety and all these things. Autism, that one condition, can better explain symptoms that look like all three. Same thing with ADHD. ADHD by itself, ADHD is also a spectrum. I don't know what they're going to do for the DSM-6. I don't know if they're going to ask your boy to help out with the DSM-6, but ADHD is also a spectrum. The DSM needs to include the spectrum component with ADHD. The DSM is missing two things for ADHD: the spectrum component and the emotional component. Mood swings and feeling things so intensely is such a big part of ADHD, and we miss that. And for those of y'all who take ADHD medications, myself included, you probably, maybe you didn't know, but sometimes your doctor will say you can take a break from your ADHD meds, because it's not like antidepressants. If you skip a day of your antidepressants, you feel it, whether it's brain zaps or whether you feel foggy. Miss one day of Effexor and come and tell me how good you feel. You don't feel good at all. You're having some silly mood swings. Now with ADHD medication stimulants, sometimes if you miss on the weekends, like you bounce back on Monday when you take it. But one reason why I have started recommending to people, I'm patients, because I can't recommend things to y'all, like y'all know my patients, but to patients that it's good to take your ADHD meds every day is because of the emotional component. It helps you regulate your mood, because ADHD is difficulty regulating your mood, right? And regulating your attention. We all struggle with attention issues. And right now, there's a big battle for our attention online. You see how hard it is to focus? You're watching a movie. Halfway through the movie, you pull out your phone, you start scrolling. Then you let the movie continue playing, and then you put on a YouTube video. Now you have a movie in the background, now you're watching YouTube. Then you pull out your iPad, now you're looking at memes. You're on Reddit on your iPad while watching a movie, while watching YouTube. The whole time you got a discussion post due at 11:59. This is a battle for our attention right now. And if you have ADHD, you know on a personal level how difficult it is to regulate your attention. But also the mood part, the mood swings with ADHD, when you feel things is this so intense. It's very annoying to feel things so deeply. When you're upset, you're it's like the end of the world. When you're at a low, when you're depressed, you feel like the sun's never gonna come out again. But then when you feel good, you feel so good that you get in trouble. You start to promise things that you can't deliver on. You tell people, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there. Oh yeah, I got you. I got you." You don't got them. You're just happy, and there's nothing wrong with being happy or too happy, but you can get in trouble being too happy, feeling your emotions too intensely. So that's one reason why I say, if you've been prescribed, if you're one of the chosen few who's been prescribed these ADHD meds, it can be helpful to continue taking them even on the weekends, even during the summers, because it can help you with your mood. It can help you, and if you can regulate your mood, you can do anything. If you regulate your mood, you can do anything. And this right here, this is such an honor. What what a compliment. Cashley, you're so complimentary. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Lavita, good to see you in the chat. So it's important to know that these conditions can all look like each other, but one thing with the DSM, like I was saying, the DSM does not account for the emotional part, and the average person does not know what bipolar means. So y'all are not the average people, okay? Y'all are exceptional folks because you watch me. So y'all are not average. But the average person out there will say things like, "Oh, the weather is so bipolar today. Oh my goodness, this person was so bipolar at work. They came into work, they clocked in happy, and then they clocked out sad. This person is so bipolar." That's not bipolar at all. That's just a mood swing. Bipolar is mood states. You're manic for a week. You're hypomanic for a week, 2 weeks, maybe weeks, maybe months. I mean, you could be manic for quite some time. You could be manic a whole summer, and it's probably going to be a fun summer. But I mean, when the smoke clears, there could be a lot of um, uh, things to apologize for, or just credit cards to clear. And the come down from bipolar is not fun. Now the come up that's fun, but the come down is not fun at all. Not fun at all. And I do think that if you have bipolar 2, for my folks out there with bipolar 2, there is a lot of benefit to hypomania. Okay. Now, if you can catch yourself in a hypomanic state and you know that you're hypomanic, it can actually be helpful. Like, I will die on this hill. If you're hypomanic and you are aware that you're a little hypomanic, okay, you will be okay. Because you're taking your meds, like, okay, all right. Like, if I get way off the deep end, I'm a bring it on in. Let me regulate my sleep and my appetite, so on and so forth. So there's some benefit to hypomania. Mania is more fun, but it's more dangerous. And danger is not good. Danger is not good. And Faisal says on TikTok, "I'm diagnosed with bipolar 2 and ADHD. How could I find clues I have autism? How would I know?" So you have to go to the professionals, and hopefully a good professional who can sit you down. And guys, let me just mention this before I get into the 4 ways that autism can look like bipolar disorder. When you go to a professional, like, we get your information, so we know what you've been diagnosed with before, because we can read, right? We can read a paper. But a good mental health professional is supposed to see everything that you've been diagnosed with before and still start over at ground zero. All right? Still start over at ground zero. So they see that you've been getting all these diagnoses before in the past. Okay, yeah, this is what they said. Now let me look at what's in front of you. Start all over. You're supposed to do that. But in order to start all over, you have to have time. And sometimes, as I know all too well, as mental health professionals, we are under the gun and we have to get people in and get people out. So fortunately for me, I think I've been so blessed. Like, you cannot rush me. You cannot rush me. You will never, like, I haven't been rushed in years. If I'm taking too long with a patient, okay, whatever. All right, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, I've spent extra time with a patient, and it's cost me like football time, and I'm like, oh, it's Thursday night football, no. But I gotta do my job correctly. I gotta do my job correctly. So if your mental health professional is not rushed, there's a good chance that they won't miss a diagnosis. But I'm being realistic right now, and I know that a lot of your doctors are burned out. You tell the doctor that you're depressed. Doctor's like, me too. Me too. Golly, I'm depressed too. They might slip up and actually accidentally, mention that. So, if you have now, I like what Bunny said right here. Katie, give me 1 second. I like what Bunny said. Like, the comment kept escaping me. My psychiatrist stopped taking insurance, so she's free to do things her way instead of being helped. So this is one good way to not be rushed. And with my private practice, which like we're closed for patients right now because I'm about to go on tour with comedy and I don't want to spread myself out too thin. Now, if my dad was gonna work with me, then we could still see patients while I'm on tour. I wanted my dad to work with me, but I don't want to burn him out either. But with my private practice, this is how I do things. No insurance, so that way I can take my time. I want to do a good job. I want to do a good job. I want to do a good job. So, topic tonight: 4 ways that. Oh my goodness, y'all heard that? Mm, look at me. Jessica, I know, but my dad also does psychiatry, but he does not like outpatient. He likes inpatient. And if I'm being honest, I prefer inpatient more than outpatient. But like I like outpatient. Just like the psych hospital is my happy place. Like I like inpatient psych is better, I will say it, but outpatient's not bad too. Lovita, see, I forget. I, I forget that I can't wait to get somebody because when it comes, let me be very upfront. Dan, what's going on? Dapper Dan. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hope all y'all boys in Alaska doing okay. When it comes to the business side of psychiatry, I'm very bad. Let me say that. Because if you leave it up to me, I'll say, let me see people for free. Because it's for the love of the game. Like I'm like, let me see folks for free. I'm bad at the business side. I don't like charging people. I'm not good at the business side of psychiatry. Now, the business side of social media and like content and software entertainment and the followers, I'm very good at that. I'm very good at B2B, but the business side of psychiatry, I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it at all. Because I want to just tear it down, and I'm like, can we just see people for free? But then you got to pay people, But I do have a vision where we can um, give at least free to the patients. But I would love to get government grants to where we don't charge people. Like that's what I would love to do. That's what I would love to do, and we will do it one day. We worked with the Biden administration. I was on the social media roundtable. I reached out to the Trump administration. We never heard back from them, but they're busy. They're running the country, so there's no hard feelings. But if the Trump administration is like, whenever they send an email back, like we are here, we would love to work with the government. Lovita, I see you. We would love to work with the government. So and this is like, we don't talk politics over here. Like over here, Republicans and Democrats are kissing in the comments. So this is not like a political thing. This is whoever the president is, like work with them. Whoever like you work with the higher ups. But when it comes to like the politics and who does who, I don't watch TV. I only watch NFL Network and ESPN. Like I don't watch. I gotta keep my brain cells right. So yeah, the 4 ways that autism can look like bipolar disorder. Let me put number 1 in here. Mood episodes like burn out Ooh. I don't know why I don't just type these out beforehand. Maybe I like just typing them. Okay. You neutral like Switzerland. That's funny. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Lexi says, I hope you have a wife. I got 4 of them, Lexi. No, I'm kidding. I don't have a wife. Uh, I hope to have a wife one day. Put 7 babies in her stomach. Put 7 babies in her stomach. All right. Okay. All right. Let me put the first one in here. Let me stop joking around. All right. Number 1. Mood episodes can look like neurodivergent burnout. So that's the first way that autism can look like bipolar disorder. All right. So people who don't know what bipolar is, bipolar has bipolar has a couple of different components. You have depression, right? Then you have mania, and then you have hypomania. So depression, which we all know, like sad, I'm sad, I'm very sad, I'm sad, I'm sad. Then you have hypomania, where I'm feeling a little too good. Then you have mania, where you're feeling way too good. It's dangerous, like potentially life threatening. Not good. I mean, like you feel good, but it's not good. Okay, so those are the mood states of bipolar. And Lovia, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. The mood episodes can look like neurodivergent burnout. So one thing that a lot of neurodivergent people, including your autistic people, will struggle with is burnout. And how do you become burnt out? You become burnt out by working really hard on the wrong things. All right. You work really hard on the wrong things. So people forget that in autism, you can have executive dysfunction like ADHD. So in ADHD, we know that you have paralysis, you're stuck on the couch and you're like, damn, I gotta get up and clean the house, but I don't want to clean the house. I gotta get up and clean the house. You can have that thing in autism as well. All right. So it can be difficult to do everyday tasks when you're autistic, especially if somebody messes up your routine. Then it's like even worse. It's like somebody is really throwing you off. They are really throwing you off. Okay. They are real. It's throwing you all the way off. So if you're experiencing neurodivergent burnout, what is it going to look like? It's going to look like depression. Okay. In fact, burnout and depression look the exact same. Like they look exactly the same. Like you're low on motivation. It's hard to get out of bed. You're feeling sad all the time. You're questioning parts of your life. You're wondering why things aren't going your way. Your mood is super low. You're very low vibrational. You're isolating. You're not leaving the house. So they look the exact same. The difference is that burnout is a result of your external environment not agreeing with what you want to do internally. So burnout could be you are at the wrong job. And what do we know about the unemployment rate with autism? Half of autistic adults over the age of 18 are unemployed. That's 50%. That's crazy. So if you're autistic right now and you are employed, you don't have to be the best person at the job, okay? If you're autistic right now and you have a job, you're doing a really good, you're doing great in life. Even if you're working the fries at McDonald's, in every job has integrity. I don't care what you do, but if you're autistic and you have a job, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job by having a job, because half of autistic individuals over 18 are unemployed. So you have the struggle of, okay, I want to work because I don't want to be evicted. But at the same time, the work is killing my soul. So I have to choose between the work that's killing my soul or going back home and living with your parents. And when you go back home and live with your parents, like, yeah, I mean, it's free, right? Like, but you pay with your mental health. It's kind of hard living with your parents. You know, like if you have parents that you can live with, like you are blessed, but it can be hard having to, move in with your folks, and it's just hard, right? So you're like, all right, I want to work for myself. Like Let me work. Let me have a job. I want to work, but the work is killing your soul. And it's not back-breaking work, but mentally it's killing your soul. It's just difficult to be at work and to deal with people and to deal with rules that maybe aren't explained to you. Now, if somebody explains the rule to you, it'll make more sense. But if it's not explained, then it's like, all right, I don't know why we're doing this. This is not even the most efficient way to do this job. But why are we doing this again? Oh, because we want to get paid on Friday. Gotcha. All right, cool. I'll keep doing it. So the work that you're doing is killing your soul, which is why I say every neurodivergent person, you need to do something for work and do something for your soul. So you get off at 5, go do something for your soul. Something that it doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to monetize every hobby. Don't listen to social media. Every hobby does not have to be monetized. If you enjoy something, it's okay. I'll be doing comedy shows, and my mom will ask me, how much are you going to make for this show? Like, how much are they going to pay you? Like, how much will you make for this show? And these aren't my headlining shows across the country. These are like the regular shows we do in California, just for 30 people at a bar. I said, Mom, I might make like $12, maybe $15. She's like, $15? Sometimes I'll be on the East Coast and I'll fly back to California for a show. My mom's like, you're flying back to make $15? Yes, but Mom, I enjoy it. It's for my soul. Like, it's for my soul. You have to do something for your soul, or else you're gonna hate life. Okay, you're gonna really hate life. So comedy's for my soul. Now, luck, I feel like I'm very fortunate that I actually enjoy psychiatry. Did my parents push me into this? Yes. Okay, like, I'm African. I don't have, like, I ain't get to pick what what I do for my career, but because my parents picked it for me. But I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I'm so happy that I enjoy this. I'm so happy that Jesus, thank you. I'm so happy that I actually enjoy psychiatry. Thank you, Lord. Because most people don't like their job. And of course, I don't like the charting part. Like, certain parts of the job is like boring, but like, I'm grateful that I enjoy psychiatry. And together we can't. I'll see the show in Chicago, June 18th. See you there. So you need to have something you do for work, and then something you do for your soul. All right. Something you do for your soul. So if you're the autistic person, you're working your job. You don't like your job because it's killing your soul, but you're working your job because you have to pay your bills. You're going to find yourself in burnout. And when you find yourself in burnout and you go to the doctor and you tell him as best as you can what's going on, it can look like depression. It can look like depression. And in bipolar disorder, you have depression. So if your doctor's not thinking about autism, you go in and they say that you have bipolar depression. So they'll say, okay, you got bipolar depression. So we're going to give you an antidepressant, but then we're going to give you a mood stabilizer as well, because we don't want you to go into mania because you have bipolar depression. That's how you treat bipolar depression. You use a mood stabilizer with an antidepressant or just a mood stabilizer. But because they misdiagnosed you, you don't have the right treatment. Now, the funny thing about psychiatry is sometimes like the same meds that you use for bipolar, a lot of times you use them for autism. Same meds you use for schizophrenia, you can use for autism. So sometimes you can have the wrong diagnosis, but you can get on the right medication for you, if that makes sense. You can get misdiagnosed and still end up on a helpful medication. So, sometimes it'll work out. But generally speaking, you want to get the right diagnosis, so that way you know what you're facing. You got to know what you're facing. You need to know what you're facing. And Christiane is saying, I'm so burnt out. My body feels like I've been in war. Right. So it's going to look like depression. It will look like depression. So depending on what you tell your doctor, and even if you tell your doctor exactly what's going on, they could be confused. They don't know if it's like bipolar, if it's autism. And there is a way to find out if, like, what's what. You would do a mood disorder questionnaire. You would do, screen for depression, screen for ADHD, screen for a thought disorder like schizophrenia. And then if you think that somebody's autistic, like if you really have a strong inkling that they have autism, then you should send them off for an autism assessment. Or if you know how to do it yourself, then bring them back in a week or two, and then do the autism assessment. So that's like the real way to find out. And that's because we're a society that wasn't built for us. We have to constantly, ooh, love of the show right here, Leilani. Love of the show. This really makes sense. So things that other people do automatically, you have to do it manually. So if you have a manual car, right, stick shift, like you got to put it into different gears. Whereas a car that's automatic, you just hit the gas and it goes. That's a really good way to describe this. And having to do all these things manually in a world that really isn't accustomed for you to win without you getting help, of course, is going to make you burned out. You're going to burn out. So if you haven't burned out yet, if you don't have the right help around you, there's only set your watch. You're going to burn out. And I'm not praying that you burn out, but I'm just saying that without the right help, the burnout is coming. The burnout is coming, unfortunately. Leilani gave me the alley-oop. She gave me the alley-oop. So she helped me out with that. She gave me the alley-oop. I'm seeing a lot of questions on TikTok. I'll answer questions at the end, but if I see a question that's compelling, then I'll get into it. But I've seen a couple on TikTok. Like somebody said, "Are relationships harder for me?" Yes, they are. Like at the end of the day, no matter how good I am at this or anything else, I'm still neurodivergent. I'm still neurodivergent. All right. So mania, the second one right here. All right. Hyperfixation, special interest. All right. Intensity. So keyword is intensity. And yes, all those meds can be used to treat bipolar. The person who asked that, all that can be used to be treat bipolar. And for autism, I think you have 2 FDA-approved ones, risperidone and Abilify. But just because something's FDA-approved doesn't mean that that's the only thing that can treat it. It's kind of confusing. But all right, so second way that autism can look like a bipolar disorder. All right, mania can look like an extended hyperfixation / special interest session, and the key word is intensity. All right, so if you know somebody who's bipolar and they've gone manic, or if you have, if you're self-aware and you realize what becoming manic looked like for you, you realize that when you're manic, you can hyperfixate on certain things. So some people who have like religious delusions, when they're manic, they'll get really into like spiritual things. Like they'll start getting deep into like God, and then they'll start talking about different parts of the Bible or different religions. Like they become so enthralled with religion, and it can look like that's somebody's special interest or a hyperfixation, but it's really it's delusional ideation. You become so obsessed with this one thing. And the key, what you want to look at is you want to look at your baseline behavior. So when you're not manic, like, are you that spiritual? Are you that preoccupied with, certain things like the government or conspiracies? Are you like that deep into it when you're not manic? That's what you should look at. Because when you're at a baseline, you're not that. You might be a, religious, person who you like to say theology, or you like to, study government or conspiracy theories. Like you'll watch a documentary every now and then, but when somebody's manic, they become all the way deep into it, like all the way, and they can look like a special interest. So is it a special interest and something that you're just researching because you genuinely love that thing, or is it delusion? Very difficult. And like Christiane is saying right here, my current obsession is astrology and psychology, right? So let's just say Christiane is autistic, all right? If she's autistic, this is a special interest. I love astrology. I love psychology. I love it. I love it. Now, if this is bipolar, then when Christiane is not manic, she doesn't care as much about astrology and psychology. But as she becomes more manic and more delusional, she becomes so hyperfixated on astrology and psychology. And she, like, you'll arrive at a point where nobody can tell you anything about that thing. So whatever you believe about astrology, like you believe that thing. Like this is what it is now and forever. And like I won't accept anything else. I won't accept like I believe this about astrology. So it can be very difficult to tell. Like, is it delusional? Is it psychosis, or is it a hyperfixation? It's very difficult, very, very, very difficult. And Melanie's asking where you draw the line. You have to evaluate the person for both individually, because, like I said, you can actually have both. So I said at the beginning, I didn't want to confuse y'all, but you can have both. Like you can be manic and also autistic, which is a heck of a combination. It really is. Because let's say your hyperfixation is astrology and psychology, but now you're manic. So now you're that much more obsessed about it. So it can be both. It's not one or the other, but it could be both. Farrah, what's up? Somebody said, do they love rocks? And Bottle Smiles on TikTok says, this would be easier if our mental health and neurodivergence could be clarified with a blood test. So this is what makes psychiatry and mental health so interesting, because there's no blood test that you can run to see what somebody has. There's no brain scan that you can do to see what somebody has. You have to talk to the person. You have to rule things out, potentially rule things in, ask questions, maybe talk to an OG who knows more than you. But there's no blood test that checks for this stuff. It's not like if you're diabetic, right? You can go get your A1C checked, and if it's kind of high, there's oh snap, I'm becoming pre-diabetic. I gotta lay off the sugar. I gotta change my diet. I gotta go to the gym. It's not like that. There is no blood test for this, so it's hard. It's hard. When am I coming to Dallas? Hopefully sometime this year. Can you become manic about how you appear aesthetically? Right. So when you're becoming manic, right? If we're talking about bipolar disorder, you become like obsessed about certain things. You become very specific about certain things, and it can look like a special interest. This is actually one of the harder things to delineate. Like, okay, this person's specificity, like, why are they so specific about this thing? They're so fixated on their appearance. Like why? Why? It's tough. And like I said, you have to start off at ground zero, and you have to really, like, your provider should be asking all the right questions, or asking as many questions as possible, and doing their best to figure out what is going on. Because like I said, it could be one or the other, or it could be both. It could be both. It could be both. And yeah, I mean, Cash, yeah, you can get your analysis. I mean, you can get some, like, it's helpful to do tests. Like, I think for me, like getting your analysis, or checking somebody's urine, like if there's an infection, that can look, somebody who has a UTI can look like they're psychotic. Somebody who is been on a meth bender for the past 2 weeks can look like they're psychotic. So, testing for certain things can help, but for the actual condition, it's tough. And yes, manic episodes can last for months, Tia. And someone says, "Can you be manic about a person?" You could. Actually, I'm not even sure what you mean by that, but when you ask that question, I thought about the person who tried to assassinate what was the president? Reagan. Reagan. The person who tried to assassinate. He did make an assassination attempt on Reagan. He was trying to impress Jodie Foster, the actress. So, in an attempt to impress this actress, who's in Hollywood, doesn't know who this guy is, he thought, if I take out the person who is running the country, that will surely get her attention. Now, it did get her attention. Okay, luckily the president lived, but those were delusions that he was having. He was having delusional ideation, and he was hyper fixated on the person. And I'm sure that's Hinckley is his name. That's correct. I'm sure that there's an aspect of limerence to that, but I think it's a step further. It's not like a lot of times limerence won't come with psychosis. You'll just be overly fixated on a person. But when you throw in the psychosis and this belief that this person is supposed to be with you, and maybe you can send this person special messages like from your brain to their brain, or I'm going to impress this person, like it becomes pretty yes, delusions of grandeur. Yeah. And a lot of people have those delusions where they'll say, okay, I'm best friends with the president. I know Elon Musk, or somebody that maybe they could know that person. Like, who knows? Maybe you might know the president. Maybe you grew up with the president. Who knows? But more times than not, it's a delusion. It's a delusion. This one right here is pretty niche. This one right here, I think, is very interesting because most people don't think about this one right here. Sensitivity. I'm like, how do you spell sensitivity? I lost it for a second. Sensitivity. SENSITIV. Sensitivity. All right. During Mac episodes. All right. This right, number 3, the third way that autism can look like bipolar disorder. Let's look at sensory issues. All right. So if you look at autism by itself, autism is one of the conditions where you're very sensitive, like when it comes to your senses. The autistic person who is in a room where people are talking too loud, or somebody's chewing their gum too loud, or maybe people are laughing in your ear, that's going to really, 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 really piss them off. And this normally leads to mood swings. And it's hard for people to explain, because what do you mean I don't enjoy Uber rides? Because even when I tell the Uber driver that I don't want to talk, they're still talking to me, and now I'm just more frustrated. What do you mean I go to a party and the music is just way too loud and the lights are way too loud and I can't adjust it, so I have to leave? Sensory overload is unfortunately a big part of autism and ADHD, but very much autism. Sensory overload and being sensitive to things that other people can just shrug off their shoulders. And I mean, you can't feel bad about this. Like, this is part of autism. Lights too brown. I said brown. I mean, I made up a word. Bright and loud. Brown. Lights too brown. Lights too bright. Music too loud. There's a weird clicking noise in the area, and it's just disturbing you. And like Kat is saying, my sensory issues are unbearable. It really is. I mean, the worst thing in the world. You went with somebody, a friend, to a party, but they drove. You get there 5 minutes after getting there, you want to leave, but your friend wants to stay for an extra hour. Oh, heck no. You're stuck at the party. This is why I always say figure out like a backup mode of transportation, or maybe you drive yourself. Like, I don't let people drive me to parties or events where I can't just leave. Like, I need to have an exit strategy, because you're going to feel like it's the worst thing of all time. Sensory sensitivities are a big part of autism. Okay. So, and this is actually one of the things that helps people get diagnosed with autism, actually. The average mental health professional, from a social worker to registered nurses to psychiatrists to um, psych NPs, psych PAs, all of us in psychiatry and everybody in the mental health field, for the most part, when sensory sensitivities are in question, most people can be like, you know what? There's a good chance that this person could be autistic. So this is one of the things that makes people think that somebody could be on the spectrum, and then you may get referred for an assessment. All right. Now, if we're talking about bipolar disorder, here's the confusing part. All right. This is where I may lose y'all, or this is where your doctor could lose y'all. So when a lot of people are becoming manic, and sometimes in depression too, but mainly in mania. So the early signs of mania, everybody who is bipolar should know what the early signs of mania are. You can lose your appetite. You have a decreased need for sleep. You talk faster than you normally talk. And if you talk fast in general, you're talking even faster. And the way to kind of know is, if you're talking so fast to where people cannot interject and get a word in, that's a threshold where, okay, we're starting to get into that rapid speech. Like, you're talking so fast. Like, the words are just coming boom, 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 boom. You're jumping from one idea to the next. You're talking so fast. All right. That's normally a telltale sign of somebody who's becoming manic. We tend to know that. We know about the talking fast and the decreased, need for sleep and the decrease in appetite. I think people know that. What a lot of people forget to mention is that many times when you're becoming manic, you become very sensitive, sensory wise, to the things in your environment. So sometimes when you're becoming manic, the lights will be brighter than they normally are. Like, I have a light shining at me right now because it's nighttime. I'm black. I want y'all to see this melanin. I want to have a good live stream. So there's a light that's shining on me right now. So let's just say I'm becoming manic. Then this light, which I have this light every live stream, for some reason, because I'm becoming manic, this light is just a bit brighter. I haven't adjusted the setting, but it's shining brighter. And like, a lot of people will describe this as having a richer sensory experience. So let's say this is like, that light right there is bluish purplish, right? So if you're becoming manic and you're looking at that light, it can look brighter. The light looks brighter to you. Music could sound better. It's like, the way I describe this to patients is, it's kind of like, shrooms. And if you haven't done shrooms, I'm not telling you to do it, but when you're watching a movie and somebody's doing shrooms and like everything becomes brighter and like you can hear things, or like kind of like maybe if somebody is like, high, right? You can hear all the beats and the music, like you could hear like the background vocals, the things that you can never hear, like you can really hear it. So when your sensory experiences become way more richer, that is something that you see when people are becoming manic. And nobody thinks about this with bipolar disorder, but you can definitely see it. And I mean, I have some patients who are so self-aware that they know that when things start to sound way too good, or when like the lights just have like a different tint to it. Okay, no, oh snap! This is a sign that I'm becoming manic. And in my opinion, I see this as your your perception of things is starting to shift. All right. So your perception of things is starting to shift. And like if you become like really manic, right? Like like not hypomania, but like mania, like full-blown mania, a lot of times you cross over into psychosis. And psychosis is a break from reality. So now you're hearing things that people aren't hearing around you. You're seeing things that people cannot see around you. And some people know that what they're experiencing is a hallucination, and some people don't know. Some people don't know. Like, am I manic, or is it just a really, really, really bright room? And I like this right here. I know I'm becoming hypomanic when my body sensations increase significantly. All right, you become more aware of how your body is feeling. And she said a significant increase. So these are all good things to understand about yourself. And like, let's say you know that you have bipolar disorder, then you know that when you start to feel this way, you can put together a game plan for this. Yeah, and the majority of people with bipolar take medications on a daily basis, but there are some people that take meds. I have some patients who take meds on an as needed basis. Like they don't want their mood stabilizers, but like they know the early signs. So if like your hands are becoming more tingly, or things are becoming super bright, your appetite's gone out the window, you can't sleep for whatever reason, like you just cannot sleep, then they're like, oh snap, okay, all right, I'm becoming manic. Let me go take my as needed mood stabilizer, take it for 2 weeks, and then like it's the same meds that they would give you at the psych hospital. So this is why it's good to know. Someone said light up time. And a good question here on TikTok. Someone says, doesn't psychosis require hospitalization? Does it occur after both hypomania or depression? So if it's hypomania, by definition, you would not have psychosis. But sometimes you can be depressed and be psychotic. You do see it sometimes. Psychosis does not automatically require hospitalization. I think y'all will be surprised to know that there are a lot of people amongst us who are in psychosis, like right now. Like a lot of people live with low grade psychosis, and it's not always bipolar. So sometimes, not to confuse it all even more, but sometimes you can just be autistic and maybe have some paranoia. Like trauma can cause some paranoia too, but in that case, it'd be coming from trauma. But it's a lot of people, and I like what Leilani is saying. There are different levels of psychosis. So when psychosis prevents you from keeping yourself safe or keeping other people safe, then yeah, you definitely have to go to the hospital. Facts. There's no way around it. When psychosis is leading to property destruction, or there's like an imminent, threat of harm to yourself or somebody else. Yeah, yeah. It's time to go to. It's been time to go to the hospital. But there are some people who are pleasantly psychotic, and I don't know if pleasantly is the right adjective for it, but some people who have delusions, and like it doesn't make them gravely disabled, right? Let's say they have delusions where they feel like, you know, like me and the president, like our best friends. Like I can call him right now, and he'll pick up. Okay, all right, cool. Like if you believe that, you're not harming nobody. You're not harming anybody. Or if you feel like they have a special relationship with the people from the dead, or I can call up Nipsey Hussle right now, and like I can channel people. Like it's not harming anybody. You can't send somebody to the hospital for that reason. Or I mean, even like religious delusions, and those are really hard because like all of us like who are Christians, like we talk to God, so it's really hard when it's like the religious stuff. But if somebody's like, I can talk to Moses, or I'm getting special powers from God or the devil, if they're not acting out on them, then like you get sent to the hospital and like they're not hurting nobody, they're not hurting themselves. And like Lovia is saying, even if you're hearing voices, a lot of people hear voices, and like if you look at them, like they'll be laughing to themselves. Like you can see somebody who is, it's what you see this a lot with like substance use. Somebody who's just like in the corner, like laughing to themselves, like having a conversation with themselves, like, oh, like yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, like having a full blown conversation with themselves. If they're not hurting anybody, you can send them to the hospital, okay? But now with the the voices that you hear, if you're hearing instructions, like when they're command hallucinations and it's telling you to do things, like maybe hurt somebody, hurt yourself, like that's when you worry. Like actually, that's the biggest worry of them all. And you're supposed, like, people in our position, like Lovita's a great provider because she's going to ask about this. Your doctor's supposed to ask you if like if you hear things and people are telling you to do things, like a command hallucinations. Because if people are telling you to do things and hurt yourself and hurt other people, okay, then yeah, yeah, we hospital time, and not in like, oh, let's lock you up, but like to keep you safe, right? To keep you safe, you want to make sure that you're doing well, taking care of yourselves, and sometimes if you feel like people are talking bad about you all the time, this is actually, in my opinion, a pretty early sign of psychosis. Like if you have this feeling that like you walk into a room and people are like, everybody there hates you. You walk into a room and people, like, they're not looking at you, right? Now you could walk into a room. I mean, you could be hanging out with some mean girls, and you walk in and they're like, look at her, look at her. I mean, who knows? Or you could be hanging out with some mean guys who are laughing, you laughing at your shoes, and like, yes, that could happen. But by and large, if you walk into most rooms and you feel like everybody hates you, or they feel like your friends like have some secret agenda and then they're out to get you, like that right there, that's paranoia, paranoid delusions. So that sort of thing is bipolar. And once again, if you're seeing that with this, not now, if you're seeing all of this and then your sensory experiences are different, you will lean towards bipolar. Now, if you're not dealing with signs of psychosis and you're not talking faster and your speech hasn't changed and your appetite hasn't changed, and like, then if you find yourself being so annoyed by, like, the lights or the sound, or you're in sensory overload, then you think more so towards the neurodivergent autism and related things. And also, a big way to tell us, like, autism doesn't go away. Like, you don't have autism at 7 a.m. and it goes away at 10 p.m. It doesn't, like, it's constant. So when you're becoming manic and then your sensory experiences change, that's in conjunction with you becoming manic, not getting sleep, talking faster, becoming more paranoid. But when you're autistic, you deal with these sensory sensitivities all the time. Like it's an everyday thing. It's a, dang, the texture of this food is awful. I can't eat. The tags at the back of my clothes, it's awful. Like I gotta cut it off, or I gotta never shop at this place again. It's just way too loud in here. I'm leaving the party early. It's way too bright. I can't hang out with y'all. I'm getting a headache. With autism, you deal with that all the time. And that's why if you deal with this at work, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. And like Leilani's saying, psychosis can happen because of, like, you can take, I mean, like steroids. You can be prescribed steroids for a medical condition, and it can make you be psychotic. So a lot of things can lead to psychosis. Don't do silence. Oh, Andrew, interesting, interesting. And what I've heard a lot of patients say, sometimes they'll feel like somebody's calling their name, like they're in a room all by themselves. Like let's say I'm right here by myself and I'm not on this live stream, and I feel like I can hear somebody saying, "Kojo, Kojo, 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 Kojo." Like somebody's calling me, but I'm the only person in this room. That can be scary. I'm the only person in this room. I'm the only person in this house. All right. Now, if I had a girl in the living room and I forgot that she's there, I'm like, oh, thank God. I thought I was hearing things, but that's not the case. So if I heard my name, then like it would be a perceptual disturbance, right? It's not there, not there. Oh, Lavita, what's the video idea? I would love to know that. Oh yeah, 1 hour mark. Leilani, we'll go to hour and a half, and also magic word has been dropped. It's time to get some water in. Magic word has been dropped. Cole, I'll answer questions at the end, but like I'm just like answering questions like in between and throughout. Why am I having girls? Because girls want to have fun. Oh, girls just. But Melissa, this is accurate. Like hearing a baby cry and no baby around, that's psychosis right there. That's psychosis. And let me mention this right here. If you're hearing voices, or if your friend is hearing voices, you reassure them and you have to validate their experience. So, like many years ago at the psych hospital, when I started working at 20, when was it, 2013, 2015? 2015, yeah. No, 2014. Wow, I've been at the psych hospital for over a decade. So 2014, when I first started working at the psych hospital, we were taught that when somebody's hearing voices or experiencing psychosis, you don't challenge them on it. So you say, oh, like, I understand that you're hearing voices and I understand that that's your reality. Nobody's here, but I understand that you're experiencing this, and it can be very disturbing. So you talk them through it. You don't make them feel bad for hearing it, but you just acknowledge their experience. And then once they're good and stable, the next thing to do is to get help. And I mean, for psychosis, like I don't see any way around this without medications. I hate to go straight to meds, but sometimes it's like, I mean, if somebody's hearing voices, like we got medications for that. We got meds for that. So that'll definitely be a situation where you get some meds. And look, yeah, I got ADHD. Sometimes we'll do that. Like I have done that before, where let's say maybe I'm dating somebody, or like there's a girl over and I start playing video games, and like she's in the other room. Depending on like what game I'm playing or how deep I am into it, I'll forget that she came over because I'm trying to win a national championship on the NCAA. And I'm like, oh damn, like she wanted to watch a movie. Oh, okay, all right. Like I got one more game in me. One more game in me. One more game in me. Vicky. Someone said thoughts about ECT. ECT is the most effective thing you can do for depression. ECT is very helpful, but I think it has a bad name. All right, the fourth way that autism can look like bipolar disorder. Social withdrawal psychosis. It can look like autism. There's skill regression, burnout, isolation. And like as I was making, I love parallel play. Like this, I mean, this turns me on so much. When a girl comes over and she's on her laptop and I'm playing video games and like I don't have to entertain her. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm like, ooh, I can just like play my game. I can just play my game. Oh, I've won 12 national championships at Alabama. I'm working my 13th right now. I can't wait until I can hop back on the game again. All right, the fourth way that autism can look like bipolar disorder, social withdrawal psychosis can look like autism, skill regression, burnout, isolation. So I'm and guys, I feel like I have to go back and make some of my old videos all over again because I have talked about everything, but I gotta go back and like I have to go back and give you all the classics. I think I have to go back and give you all the classics because and yes, I'm a kid at heart. I'm never gonna grow up. I'm never gonna grow up. I'm just a big kid. I saw Bam beat Kobe's record. I wasn't happy about it, but I saw it. Um, with my early videos, I actually I think last year I made a video talking about the early signs of psychosis. Either way, I have to go back and give you all the classics because early signs of psychosis, it's important to know, right? Not just because it's in bipolar disorder, but you can also see it in schizophrenia, right? Early signs of psychosis. One of the signs is social withdrawal. Okay. You see it's in bipolar and in schizophrenia and psychosis in general. And there's a couple other things like you could see sometimes you see poor hygiene, worsening hygiene, not taking showers, not caring for yourself. We see that a lot with schizophrenia and psychosis, but social withdrawal is definitely an early sign of psychosis. All right. And let's say somebody is manic, all right, or they have schizophrenia and they're dealing with psychosis. It'll be difficult to tell whether this is psychosis that's coming from social withdrawal, like I'm removing myself from society because I'm experiencing psychosis, or if it's autism, because there's many parts of autism that will make you isolate. There's a lot of parts of autism that will make you isolate. So skill regression, when you go to that work that you don't like, the job that you don't like that you have to do for like to maintain a living, and you hate it, and it's killing your soul because you have to laugh at unfunny jokes and do small talk and ask people about the weather. It's killing your soul, but you have to mask. So you have to go to work and you gotta laugh and ha 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 ha, you know, yeah. Like you have to like die out laughing to make people feel happy. And the joke isn't funny. But if you're not laughing, you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. So you're like, oh, like you start having you don't even laugh like that in like in real life. You don't even laugh like that, but you're just laughing because you see other people laughing. So now you're laughing, you're doing all these things that are not natural to you. Guess what? These things can lead to chronic illnesses. Okay, it can lead to regression of your skills. It can burn you out. And when you experience skill regression, it's very embarrassing. The fact that you were able to cook and now you can't cook, or now you have a hard time cooking, or you have a hard time even showering, bathing yourself, you can't clean the house. You could do three, four things in a day. Now, doing one thing would be a miracle. Driving has become hard for you. You become super anxious while driving. You can't even merge onto the highway because, like, your nervous system has been in chronic fight or flight. This is like your nervous system got into a fight with Mike Tyson. It's like every day your nervous system wakes up and you have to fight Mike Tyson. I'm talking about prime Mike Tyson. I mean, like you're burnt out. Skill regression, burnout, isolation. So a lot of autistic people's favorite place is the house. And there's a lot of reason to like the house. When you're at home, like it don't cost you any money. You know, you go outside, outside costs you $75 at a minimum. Like you're gonna pay something by going outside. Like it is expensive. So inside is pretty cool, but a lot of neurodivergent people, especially autistic people, like to be inside the house because you can be yourself in the house. You don't have to be anybody else. You can be yourself. And sometimes you have to remind yourself that you have to leave the house at regular intervals. You gotta leave the house every now and then. Yeah, not Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, like right, like back in the day, like prime Mike Tyson, like biting Holyfield's ear, Mike Tyson. Like that Mike Tyson has been punching your nervous system for years and years and years. So now you have only the energy to wake up, maybe get you a shower, if that. Sometimes when we're bed rotting, we don't take showers. Like when I'm bed rotting, sometimes I don't take showers. It's like you need a reason to leave the house. All right. So if you're isolating, it can look like social withdrawal. So you go to the doctor, you tell them that you've been isolating, that you show up to this appointment, but this is the first time that you left the house all month. Okay. If that's the first time you've left the house all month, like outside of work and like, whatever, or like church, like the first time you've left the house all month. Now, if your doctor's any good, they're gonna think about, okay, because like I said, there's no blood test to figure this stuff out. So yeah, you have to ask yourself, okay, what could be leading to social withdrawal? And you're like, social withdrawal. Okay, is this person maybe experiencing psychosis or like early signs of like they're becoming manic, or maybe is there some schizophrenia? Like what's going on? Like why would this person isolate themselves and like not leave the house, right? And if they don't have enough information on you, or if they're not thinking about autism, right, you could be misdiagnosed. And there's a lot of like if on the fifth or sixth try you're giving an accurate diagnosis of autism finally, you probably were misdiagnosed with things like anxiety, bipolar, depression, OCD, PTSD, schizophrenia. Like there's a couple of key conditions that you get misdiagnosed with before you actually get diagnosed with autism, because all those things can look like autism. So if you go in, and especially if like you never leave the house, and let's say you have just a few friends, like I mean to me like it can look like bipolar disorder, like a manic episode, but that really sounds like early signs of schizophrenia. Like we call it the prodromal phase. So like right before like actual schizophrenia like starts, you have a period where you're isolating, you're not taking care of your hygiene, not talking to friends, like you're ducked off, you're doing your thing, nobody's really heard from you. And when you don't leave the house in a while, your social skills start to erode. Like I've noticed that, like if I've been at home for like just even 2-3 days in a row without leaving the house, I go to the grocery store and somebody asks me a question, I'm like, yeah, 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 the ketchup over there. Sometimes I'll be at the store and people will ask me questions like I work there. Where's the cereal at? I'm like, oh, aisle 17. Like I'm not gonna tell you that I don't work here. I say, oh, cereal over there. And like, go over here for the milk. Like I'll just answer your question. Prodromal phase, like it's kind of like pre-schizophrenia. You isolate yourself. You're not as talkative. Your hygiene starts to go. Like you're not taking care of yourself. And look, if it's that specific, then yes, it could be schizophrenia. But people have to account for the fact that anybody who spends a lot of time at home, like I mean, the thing with autism is like there are certain things you should be looking for as a professional provider. So like when I'm like I remember I had a kid who, how old was this kid? Kid was I think like second grade, like 7 or so. No. No, he was like 5 or 6. The kid was 5 or 6, and I was trying to determine whether this kid was autistic or not. And one question that I asked was, or I asked the mom, I said, all right, so if your son is given the choice of playing with other kids, kids that he likes, brothers, cousins, friends, if he can choose between playing with other kids that he enjoys, kids that don't bully him, or being by himself, what would he choose? Both the mom and the son said he would be by himself. So those are the kind of questions that you're supposed to ask if you're looking for autism. Because most autistic people, if you give them a chance to go out into the wild and frolic with people or to be by themselves, 90% are going to choose to be by themselves. Oh, you want to hang out with your friends that you really like you like your friends. Like these are your boys, these are your girls, or are you going to be by yourself? The overwhelming majority, by and large, are going to want to be by themselves. So those are key questions that you need to ask, because it's just the nature of the condition. It's just nature of the condition. Like outside, people, it comes at a cost. Like you have to pay with your social battery. Like it comes at a cost. And every now and then, yeah, you do go outside. You do, hang out with folks, but like you prepare to go outside. That's another thing with autism is like, damn, like how much preparation goes into, being outside. Like, hey, mate, yeah, come on, bro. Like, like tonight, the baddies are gonna be out tonight. Like, all the girls are gonna be there, and you're like, how long is this thing gonna go on for? Like, who all is gonna be there? Like, who's driving? How far is it? Like, when somebody invites you somewhere and you don't want to go, so you start asking all these extra questions. Like, okay, cool, all right. What time y'all start? Oh, okay. The whole time you don't want to go. You're just asking questions because you're like, nah. Like, I'm just looking for something to say that will allow me to, be like, oh, I'm not gonna go. Oh yeah, it's like a 45-minute drive. Oh, if it was a 15-minute drive, I'll go, but like 45 minutes. Knowing good and well, if it was a 15-minute drive, you're not going. Even if it's a 10-minute drive, you're not going, because now they said 45-minute drive. Like, oh, okay, yeah, like 45 minutes is too much. Too much. I'm not. Nah. I'm not gonna do that. You didn't want to leave the house anyway. So it's important to know that those are some of the things to look out for if you're trying to just identify autism in general. But it can look like many other things. And also, like I said at the beginning, you can have both. You can have autism and bipolar and ADHD and anxiety. You can have all. Right. And no, seriously, like that's one thing that I will definitely mention at these shows. First show is April 26th in Houston, Texas. Next one, May 31st, Nashville, Tennessee. Then we're going to be in New York City, June 11th. Chicago, Illinois, June 18th. But like, I will definitely mention that, because if my neurospicy people are leaving the house to come out for a comedy show, like that's major. Because like the people that are coming to my show, like they have brains like mine. They're neurospicy people just like me. So if you're leaving the house, that means that you have to like not just buy a ticket, but you have to prepare in advance. You have to wake up, you have to take a shower, you have to pick out which clothes you were gonna wear. Okay, I'm gonna wear this. I'm gonna get a babysitter to wash the kids. Cool. I'm gonna go put gas in the car. I'm gonna look up the instructions to get there. Okay, I'm gonna get there early. All right, now that I'm there, there's gonna be a lot of people there. All right, how do I deal with 100 other people being in this room? Like, what's the environment gonna be? There's a lot of unknowns, and a lot of people who come to the show, it's their first time going to a comedy show. So when you're neurodivergent and you're going into an unknown like environment, that's a lot. Am I gonna have a good time? Am I gonna have an awful time? If I'm having a bad time, how do I get out of the situation? Like it's a lot. It's a lot. So people who are coming out, I appreciate you. It's a lot. It's a lot. Nashville show, the link is in the bio. And it should also be on YouTube as well. Nashville's gonna be good. Nashville's gonna be good. This is my hometown. I get to go back. I get to stay at my cousin's house in Murfreesboro. Nashville's gonna be awesome. And I get to show my California friends Tennessee. I've been talking up Nashville so much to my people in LA. I'm like, all right, guys, y'all are gonna love Nashville. It's a growing city. Nashville is amazing. I love Nashville, uh, and it's not the same Nashville that like I was living in when I was growing up. Like we were in the projects. Like it wasn't this Broadway bachelorette Nashville. It was just poverty, but I would watch my Titans game, so I was good. When you're a kid and you're poor, like if if God says you have to be poor at some point in your life, pick while you're a kid. Because I'm outside playing. I don't need no iPad. I'm having a good time. But Nashville's going to be a great show. Nashville's going to be an amazing, amazing show. Oh, Susie, if you're in Kentucky, depending on where you're at, it might not be a bad drive. Tickets for New York City. The link is also in the bio for all the shows. The link is in the bio for all the shows. I dress the same every day. Oh, you can wear the same outfit to the show, or for people who come to the show, we can wear the same outfit. You can Nashville. Yep. Oh, you went to Fisk? My mom went to Fisk. My cousin went to Fisk. My dad went to Tennessee State University, so he's a Tiger. So I mean, I'm Nashville through and through. I love my Titans. I love my Titans. And look, it's gonna be a lot of anxiety. And look, even for me, it's my first time playing at these venues. But what I do, Nashville, May 31st. Did I say April? May 31st. If I misspoke, I apologize. May 31st. April is for Houston. We kick off in Houston, Texas. Houston. Oh, wow. Hey. Shout out to you and your girl. Shout out to you and your girl. Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot of folks undiagnosed and diagnosed. Together we can. I appreciate you. There's going to be a lot of folks out there. I think it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Claudia's saying that they're in Colombia. We will look to go international. I promise you. Ari, I appreciate you. Oh, it's a 3-hour drive. Oh, and see, that's the thing I really appreciate about people. Because I'm assuming that everybody lives in these cities. Like if you're driving 3 hours to come to a show, I'll never forget a woman drove from Chattanooga, Tennessee to Atlanta, Georgia for my first show 2 years ago. And I still think about her. She had both of my books too. That was super cool for me. And like if this is your first comedy show too, then it's going to be a good time. Comedy is something that we all need as neurodivergents. Like we all need comedy. Farrah, happy birthday. I wish you could go, but happy birthday. Oh, okay. All right. So you're probably from Houston. Okay, yeah. We just changed our colors to have the Houston Oilers colors. We went from Houston, then we went to Memphis, then we went to Nashville. So, but y'all have the Texans. Y'all got the Houston Texans. So, but we have your colors though. We have it. No. So I have thought about this right here. This is gonna be hilarious. Like imagine finding out that you're autistic at a comedy show. But a lot of people have found out at the comedy shows. I mean, that's if they're not familiar with the content. But if you're laughing at all the jokes, if everything is relatable to you, and there's a lot of autistic folks in the building, oh no, like I got some news for you. You also might be a part of the community. Some people like driving more than flying. And I appreciate you, Lavita. I appreciate you. See, my books, after I wrote the book, like I read them like, that year, like I'll read them through. But ever since then, like especially my second book, I use the Audible version more because I'm more of an Audible person myself. So for For me to read a book is kind of a lot. Oh, it was your wife. Your wife got you. So that's the thing. I'm trying to think about what the percentage of people who I don't find that a lot of people go to the doctor and the doctor's like, "Oh, you're autistic." Normally, it's like somebody is watching you, like a wife, a spouse, a parent, a child, a cousin. Somebody's watching you, and somebody's like, "You know what? Have you been tested for autism?" And you're like, "No, what you mean?" You're like, I feel like you're kind of like young Sheldon, or I feel like you're like the other person in your family who's autistic. And normally that one person in the family who has autism, like they kind of see things before other people see things. So especially if they're autistic too. I mean, so your wife, she clocked your autism, but did you clock hers? See, look. See, I called it already. See, I called it already. She knew because she was autistic herself. That's funny. Leilani, we'll go 15 more. A week. Loretta, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Native Houstonian. Okay. And Houston's a great town. Great town. Houston's a great town. And look, if the RDHD skits are relatable to you, hey, I'm not saying it, but look, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. And a week. The older generation, you can't tell them that they have autism or that they have anything. Like they want to play with their trains in peace. You know, they've been raw dogging autism for decades, and I guess it's been okay for them. Thank you. uh, Melissa, I never had the doctor on my name and on Facebook. I only had Kojo Sorfro. And the reason why I didn't want to change my name is because when you're verified on social media, if you change your name, you could lose your badge. So, I mean, probably a silly reason, but that's why I didn't change my name on Facebook because I was verified as Kojo Sorfo. Hey, tell her to come. She might get her autism diagnosis. Tell her to come. Tell her to come. And now the older generation, like I mean, like my parents, I joked about it, but I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna go for a professional diagnosis. Like it's not even on their radar. That's the funniest thing about it. To watch them do neurodivergent things, but not even have it on their radar. It's like the younger generation, right? Who can I see? How much does it cost? Who's taking this insurance? Like, I need to know. I need to know. I need to know if I have this. The older generation is like, man, like, I'm good. The whole time they're stimming in the background, they're rocking, they're playing with their trains, they're listening to the same song on repeat, they're screaming at somebody because it's too loud in the kitchen, but they're never autistic. They're just like, they're just chilling. They're just chilling. I got assessed for autism to win a bet. I think I was, oh my, I hope you didn't put a lot of money on it. I hope you didn't put a lot of money on it. My grandma had China that I couldn't touch, and now I can't even give it away. Yeah, grandma, come on up. Come on up, grandma. ADHD, perimenopausal wife, and need resources to share. Oh, medicate my videos. Janelle says, I was trying to learn about my boyfriend's ADHD, and through research, I realized I was autistic. Hey, the autism discovery stories might be the funniest part. Because like nobody goes to the doctor and they're like, doctor, like, check me for this. You go to the doctor and they let you know what you have, but most times the doctor's not the first person to clock it. The doctor's like the fourth or fifth person to clock it. It's never really the doctor who's the first one to see it. Like like they get it after the I don't know. That's what it is. It's an autism altar call. Come on up. Come on up, grandma. Come on up. Come and stand with me. Come on, grandma. Accept it. Accept it. Come on, grandma. Oh, this is very autistic right here. This type of memory. Lady Angel, Papa, come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. And yeah, for women get a diagnosis, have to wait decades sometimes. It does suck. Susie said, "My dad with anxiety and my grandma hated being in photos." Ah, ah. Uh, Maybe you have to bring your parents out to the show. Let them make that altar call. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Your third birthday party? Whoa. Whoa. Okay, okay, all right, okay. So your dad doesn't have to get an official assessment. Like he can come on up right now. He can come on up right now. He was nonverbal until 4, and then between 4 and 9, he went through all of his K through 12. Oh yeah, come on up. I've never heard anything like this before. Nonverbal until 4. And in a 5-year span, he skipped middle school. Oh my, yeah. Come on up. Come on up. I was a kid who was kept. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And see, that's what I'm so curious about. Like in the 70s and 80s, there was no word for it. So you were either ostracized from society or like they called you weird for counting things and hanging in the library. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. My brother was born that day. I remember driving the car with my dad. We drove across the bridge. He said I was going to go meet my brother and go see mama. Look at this memory. No, no, autistic memory is very specific. Is very like very specific. Your your dad started high school. No, no, no. He graduated from Fisk at 19. Whoa, whoa. Respect, respect. Wow. And it's been so interesting for me to hear people's stories, like people who are 70s and 80s babies. Cause like that was the worst time to be neurodivergent. It was the worst time. You're told that you're too sensitive, you talk too much, you ask too many questions, but you're in the gifted program. Oh my goodness. It it must have been the worst time. Like I'm a 90s baby, so it was a little better for me, but I still had immigrant parents, so like I had the raw dog for the most part, and even if I never got help as an adult, I'd still be raw dogging, like But it's not that my parents and a lot of parents are this way. They don't want to prevent their kids from getting help. They just don't think about it. Like it doesn't occur. Like it doesn't occur to the parents. Or even if you tell the parents, "Oh, your child is gifted. Your child could have ADHD." It's like it's like no, like it's not a thing. Um, so yeah, like I'm not upset about like my parents did the best that they could. Um, did the best that they could, but like even today, trying to get cut through to them and tell them they don't get it, but like they'll argue with they'll argue with you with autistic logic and rationale, and and cadence while denying any diagnosis. Kashta, rest in peace to your dad, a legend. Started high school at 9, nonverbal at 4. Started high school at 9. Graduated college, 15? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow, wow. Yeah, no, Sunflower, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Oh, you're saying same. Yeah, okay. Nice baby with immigrant parents. So I feel like a 90s baby with immigrant parents is similar to an 80s baby born in America. Because we have like we're born a decade later, so we have some advantage, but our parents are clueless. So, I mean, and there's still some immigrant kids today who are going through it, going through it, going through it. And Kasha, I agree. I agree. Especially being like autistic and black. It's like God, you can't do this. No, it's either black or autism. Don't do both. And God's like, thank you for the super chat, Posh Pearls. I distinctly remember telling my mom I didn't want to talk because I didn't feel like it. Talked at 4.5, graduate high school. Whoa. At 15. Had to wait to go to college because I couldn't. Wow. 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 All right. Okay. All right. Look, no. Y'all have memories before too? Really? Really? Wow. 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 I find this so fascinating. Diagnosed dyslexia in the 60s and 70s. Wow. There was only like 2 doctors diagnosing people with dyslexia back then. Y'all found one of the good doctors. Wow. Wow. And there's a lot of empathy for people who like come from different cultures, because there really was no space to be themselves. And like that's how I feel about my parents. Like they did the best that they could with what they knew. And for them, they moved countries twice. They went from Ghana to Norway, from Norway to Nashville, Tennessee. That's impressive. Like, how did they do all that with undiagnosed? I mean, look, we had some undiagnosed superstars. Like the older generation, that's what they are. They are undiagnosed superstars. And sometimes I feel like, because people have the debate, should I get a diagnosis because it's a label or should I not do it? Sometimes people not knowing that they have something can help. I will say that. People not knowing that they have something can help if they associate that condition with it being a handicap, which in a sense it kind of is. Like in some capacity, it's a handicap. But if you associate ADHD with like being slow or whatever, and you have it but you don't acknowledge it, you could do well because you've deluded yourself into thinking that you don't have it. So I mean, the double-edged sword, a double-edged sword. Die yourself until now. Whoa, you remember being 1? Whoa, whoa. How do y'all remember being 1? Your black female ADD, yeah, didn't go to school, parents. Yeah. Imagine telling Jenny, I know. Imagine telling your parents that you don't want to go to school. They're gonna beat you. You better go to school. Celebrate your 3rd birthday. Whoa. All right, okay. This is a separate case study. Wow, 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 wow. What? I remember my bro being nonverbal. We had twin language speaking when he was 2. Okay. Okay. And no, it was stressful for my parents. Very stressful for them. I like, and but see, here, this is why there's a gift to neurodivergence. I promise you, there's a gift. When you're neurodivergent, even if you don't know it, you have this ability to just get the job done. I can't explain it. You have this ability to get the job done. Like, you'll put yourself in situations where, I mean, you could be burnt out, you could be tired, but you will get the job done because it's your only option. And like, that's undiagnosed ADHD right there. We're under pressure. Well, hey, this is where we work best. My parents, when they moved from Ghana to Norway, my dad was at the airport in Norway, Tromsø, Norway, and he didn't know where to go. They came from Africa, no money, limited resources, don't know anybody in Norway. So what does my dad do? He goes to find the yellow pages. Back in the day, for the kids at home, we used to have this thing called the yellow pages where you could go in and find people's numbers. My dad got the yellow pages version, the Norwegian version. He went in there, he started looking through the yellow pages. He started looking for African names. And he found a guy, he found a guy who had a Ghanaian name. And my dad said, oh, this guy must be from Ghana. My dad calls this guy at the airport. This guy pulls up to the airport. He picks up my dad, shows him around. Boom. Now my dad has a friend. He got a place to stay. Look at God. Like, who would think about that? Like, today we got AI. We have Google. I mean, you got like Apple Maps. Like, it's not even MapQuest. Like, you can put it in your phone and figure this stuff out. But like, we adapt. We have no choice. Like, what's the alternative? I'm gonna sit here and die? No, I'll figure it out. And Nelly, yeah, Norway had the yellow pages. And Evelyn, no, I give my parents a lot of credit. Very resourceful. They got the job done some way, somehow. My mom finished Fisk, it's like early 2000s. Early 2000s. But we get the job done some way, somehow. Some way, somehow. I do believe that if you're undiagnosed, at some point you're going to hit a cap where there's only so much that you can do. And that's the painful part. Like, you'll be very resourceful, you can be crafty. And like, for me, my breaking point was grad school. Grad school, I'm working on my doctorate. It's my last degree. It's a terminal degree. I'm like, all right, Coder, this is the last one. But I mean, I got through high school. Well, I mean, I was a failing student, but I got through nursing school undiagnosed. I knew I had ADHD, but no Adderall, no Wellbutrin, no psychiatrist. I raw dogged it. Just pure vibes and pressure and urgency. And like, I won most outstanding student. When I go back to the campus of West Alabama, at the University of West Alabama, my name is engraved on the Walk of Fame. I'm not sure what they call it, but my name is engraved at the school. I raw dogged my time there. And I left most outstanding student. I got an award when I graduated. I have an alumni award. My name was on the floor at the school. Undiagnosed. I raw dogged it. But I reached my breaking point where I could only do so much. And that was in grad school. I could only do so much. School was kicking my butt. My relationship, I go to my girl's house, it's an argument because I'm not spending any time together. I go home, arguments because money issues here. I got to take care of this. I don't have any money, but I reached my breaking point. I reached my breaking point, and I talked to a friend. He said he has ADHD. He takes Ritalin for it. And like, it changed things for him. I said, all right, okay, that's it. I need to get some help because this is crazy. And then I got help. I got on the medications, and like now, now look at what I've been able to do. But at some point, like undiagnosed, at some point, you're going to reach a wall. You're going to reach a wall. You're going to reach a wall. You can reach a wall. Wow. Congrats, Kashta. And also for people who are, undiagnosed at home or not sure, you don't have to get on the meds, or like you don't have to get a diagnosis, but it's going to be twice as hard for you. It's not impossible, but it's going to be twice as hard for you. Okay. Like, so it's like, does it have to be that hard? Cynthia, I appreciate you. It doesn't have to be that hard, like, hey, Lovita, I'm grateful. I had a lot of help. I mean, I did, pretty good without the official help. But once I started learning more about ADHD and what I had to do for it, I have a lot of help, and I still have a lot of help today. I still have a lot of help today. And you know what's crazy with ADHD? You have to create a system that protects you from yourself. Same thing with autism as well. You need a system that protects you from you. Like, guys, it's not going anywhere. Like, this neurodivergence is not going anywhere. Patrick, still raw dog. Patrick, Patrick, keep going, my guy. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Melissa said, got burnt out after my third son and getting his autism diagnosis. Melissa, sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss. And look, if you keep getting burnt out over and over and over again, that's another sign. I mean, that's one of the biggest signs, actually, that you like burnout keeps happening. Like, it keeps happening because you are in a system that doesn't work for you. You're neurospicy. That means you need external help. You need external help. If you don't get that help, guess what? You're going to keep being on that hamster wheel of being burnt out. So until the system is put in place, life is going to be very hard for you. You have moments where it's like easy, but then it'll be hard again. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I make the content that I make. Curtis, I love these comments. I appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate you. You have to have the help. You have to have the help. You have to have the help. One of my biggest, I don't know if it's a flaw or if it's I guess it's a strength and a weakness. I'm a risk taker. I can't gamble. I had a girlfriend who made me like quit gambling because like I like to gamble because I think I'm gonna win. I always feel like I'm gonna win. I will always win. I like to roll the dice. So when I'm in a dicey situation, people can think about all the ways that something will go wrong. I'm like, no. What about the one way it's gonna go right? I'm a gambler. Farrah, I appreciate you. So I need to protect myself from me because of that. I broke in my second grad degree. I have shame because I never walk away from something I finished, but I couldn't do it anymore. I'm pursuing help now. I've hit a wall I can't get through. Posh Pearls, thank you for the super chat. I get it. And thank you for sharing. Like, that's what I'm telling y'all. Like, there's that ceiling where at some point, no help, it's gonna be hard, damn near impossible. So getting that help is gonna make things so much easier for you. And great question right here. I definitely want to answer this question before I end the live stream. And Katya says, we love a Delulu King. Yeah, no, I got some Delulu in me for sure. I definitely do, because I feel like I'm always going to win. Like, things will always work out. But that's gotten me into a lot of trouble. It's gotten me into a lot of trouble. Like for me, when you meet a girl, before you and her get to shucking, you don't shuck with the girl and then ask her, oh, are you in birth control? You know, you don't do that. That's backwards. Like it, rolling the dice, rolling the dice. That's not smart. You ask these questions before, and then you get to shucking. But like it's self-awareness. I know I'm a gambler. So now I surround myself around people who can help me out. They can tell me, Kojo, bad idea. Kojo, good idea. Bad idea. Good idea. Even for this comedy show in Houston, Texas, April 26th is the first comedy show of this tour. Okay. So this is an important date. I have to be in Houston early on time to put on a great show for people. My friends were all coming in early. Like, we're coming to provide a show. I get to Houston on Thursday. The show was Sunday. Okay, I'm going to be there for the show. I get a call from a friend who says he's having a wedding in Washington, D.C., and the wedding is on Saturday night. Okay? I have a comedy show, a headlining show, Sunday night. So this is a great example of me being a gambler and me needing help. Melissa, check this out. I told my team, I told my assistant, I said, you know what? My headline show is on Sunday night, but my good friend is getting married on Saturday night in Washington, D.C., but the show's in Houston. So what did I do? I already have my flights to Houston booked. So I'm going to be in Houston on Thursday, but I booked a flight from Houston to Washington, D.C. the Saturday before the show. The flight leaves at noon from Houston to D.C. Then the flight back to Houston leaves at 10 p.m. D.C. time, allowing me to get back to Houston at 1 a.m. the night before the show. I thought that this was a good idea because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I want to be there for my friend and still be there for my comedy show. So I'm just going to book a round trip ticket where I go to DC and come back the same day. And I'm thinking to myself, in the event that something goes wrong, there's 3 airports in the DC area, 2 in DC, 1 in Baltimore. Houston has 2 airports. If for some reason I have to drive to Richmond, Virginia, I'll do it. I can find me a direct flight from Richmond to somewhere in Houston. If I have to get a flight from Richmond to Dallas and then drive from Dallas to Houston, I can do it. Talking to my friend, I thought it was a good idea. And my friend was like, Kojo, you're taking an unnecessary risk. Because if this works out great, you got to go to the wedding. If you fly to DC and you get stuck in DC the night before night 1 of your tour, you're stuck in DC. The show's in Houston on Sunday night. 100+ people have come to see you. If you can't make the show, not only do you have to give everybody a refund back, but people are pissed. People drove 3 hours from Dallas to Houston. People drove from the Woodlands all the way down to Houston. And Houston's an hour away from Houston. People are coming from Louisiana. And then not only do you have to give them a refund, but now the club is upset at you. The promoter is upset at you because you're taking money out of their pockets, all because you thought you could fly from Houston to DC and from DC to Houston in the same day, which you can do it. I've done it before. But my friend sat me down and said, Kojo, this is an unnecessary risk. You don't have to do this. And I said, okay, cool. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. So I told my assistant, I said, all right, John, let's cancel the DC flight and let me get my flight credit back with United because I don't think that it's the best idea. But in my head, I really thought that I could do it. Like, I really felt like I could do it. Like, Houston is an hour away from Houston. And I know that because I've been in Houston before. I said, let's gamble. I know I can get back. Like, I can fly. Like, I can do it. And look, I probably could do it, but it's an unnecessary risk, right? Same thing as shucking with a girl and then asking, are you on birth control? Like you could end up being fine just plan B pills, but it's an unnecessary risk. So I know that I'm a gambler, but I don't have to go for it on fourth down. I could punt the ball. I know my limits. And if I can't do it for myself, I have to surround myself with people who can say, who know me, who say, Kojo, don't do it. Don't do it. And as smart as I appear to be, I really thought that I could do this. I thought I could do it. And if I'm being honest with y'all, I still think I can. I still think, but I won't because it's an unnecessary risk. If you get right, 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 exactly. So you need a voice of reason by your side. You need a voice of reason by your side. Yeah, right. Cost me right. It's an unnecessary risk. Right, it increases like see you see how y'all are rational about this. The only person who can't see it is the person who is in it. You don't see it, so you want to gamble. I really thought that this would work, and it could work, probably will work, but it's an unnecessary risk. So that's why I surround myself with people who can tell me the truth. Say, Kojo, no, don't do this. No, no, we're not doing this. We're going here. We're going to do this. Like if I'm dating somebody, like the best thing that they can do for me is help wake me up in the morning. Say, hey, wake up, take your Adderall. Uh, let's get the day going. No, no, you can fact check me. Yeah. And see, I appreciate this community. And sometimes, like look, let's just say I did go to DC and I came back and I made it work. Okay, like what are you proving to who? So that's the type of support that you need. It's not just medications that you need, but you have to know what are the things that what are the traits that you have. What are the traits that you have? And if you have traits to be a gambler, if you have traits that you forget your medications, or if you have traits where you have time blindness and you're always behind on things, okay, well, maybe let's set the clock in the car an hour ahead. Like that's how I get to places on time, and I'm still late sometimes. So you have to find the system that works for you. It might not just be meds, but it can be a lot of different things. You have to figure out what works for you. And when you put the system in place, you can do anything. You can do anything. But without a system, you're going to be stuck. Or Walter, I get my team to look at it. We get so many messages, but I'll have my team look at that. And this is why you need people around you. So telling your wife, what's a smart move? Like you need an accountability partner. You need an accountability partner. Facts. And yeah, I know Houston. I know Houston. Hour away from Houston. So like now I know. Now I know. Now I know. So there's no like neurodivergence is not an excuse for anything. But when you know yourself, you go from hating certain traits about yourself to embracing it. Like me being a risk taker, I left a stable job in Virginia and I moved to California to do content creation, and it worked. Good risk. Good risk, right? You could always go back to psychiatry, and like I still do psychiatry. So like good risk, but bad risks, stay away from them. Talk to people. Ask people questions. We need people. And with Houston can be 1 to 3 hours away from Houston. This is facts. Like I was thinking an hour is probably even being kind. No, I know this. I know this city pretty decently. Yes, yeah. And the public transportation in Houston is not the best. It's just one of those cities where it's just not. So why stress yourself out? Why stress yourself out? Bria the Zen Smile. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Houston show as well. It's gonna be awesome. I'm not going to DC trip. I will be in Houston. I'll be there on a Thursday. I'll be at the Astros game on Friday. I'll be at State 48 on Saturday. I'm like, I'm staying close to the comedy show. Yeah, I'm doing that as well. Like, I know myself. I know myself. So it's about knowing yourself and not hating yourself, but just love the traits that you have, but put some guardrails around you. Get some help. Get some help. Get some help. And that's why, like with the content, if you realize that you have, autism, ADHD, or if you have people pleasing traits, just know that, like, if you're a people pleaser, you need to be with somebody who doesn't mind being the mean person. So you should never like date another people pleaser, because guess what? Y'all gonna be going to weddings and events and things that you don't want to do because you're trying to please people. One person in the relationship has to be the asshole. Somebody has to be the asshole. Somebody got to do it. I definitely believe I can fly. And I know somebody had asked, I forgot who asked, but somebody had asked what are the four ways that autism could look like bipolar disorder. Number one, mood episodes and bipolar can look like autistic burnout. Number two, mania can look like an autistic special interest or hyperfixation. Number three, sensory sensitivity can spike during manic episodes. And that could look like somebody who has autism and sensory sensitivity. And number four, social withdrawal, which could be an early sign of psychosis, could look like somebody who is experiencing skill regression or burnout in autism. Yeah. So your husband's an asshole? Good. Great. Because you don't want to date somebody who is like super nice like you. Yeah. I mean, I thought about that, but like we have the team, helping out with that. Because like knowing me, I'm like, oh, I stay over there. I know myself. Like I'm decently smart. I'm not no genius. I'm like just enough to get by. LA is an hour away from L. Yeah. I mean, clearly I know this. And this is why in LA we just stay in our neighborhood. Like if you're a Valley person, you're in the Valley. If you're Marina Del Rey, you stay there. If you're Inglewood, you stay there. South Central, like you just stay in your area. If you're in Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, you stay there because it's look, a boat accident, right? Seattle is actually the next show that we're trying to add in. So I'm trying my best to add a show, Seattle. I'm trying my best. I think that'll be the next one, either that or Oklahoma City, but definitely Seattle. Yeah, you gotta find your compliment. Patrick, you're not supposed to have blood in your stool. Not normally, but you may have this white card. A random question, but random answer. Bria says, but we're out here looking for the nice guys. You want kind guys, okay? I don't know about nice. Nice can be kind of manipulative sometimes. Nice is people pleasing. You want somebody who's kind, right? Like somebody on a hard day, somebody who can extend grace to you. Like, you know what? Like it's like we're gonna be okay. But sometimes overly nice can get you in trouble. But kind over nice, if that makes sense. Kind over nice. Does that make sense? Yeah. I mean, he may have wiped hard. And I mean, look, that's actually a great. Ooh, that's a great potential topic. Like times when you shouldn't be nice, because there are times when you should not be nice. Like you're at the lounge, somebody comes by and they smack your girl's bum, You're supposed to check that person. You don't say, "Oh, sir, please don't do that." No, and you don't have to fight, but you have to be like, "Hey, like you need to address what you just did. Like that better have been on accident. Like like you have to account for that." There's times where you have to put your foot down. A- And Javo would love to come to Australia. I have some connections over there, so I think we can make that happen. I think we can make that happen. Don't want to push over, but you don't want somebody who's too rigid too. Like somebody who's too rigid, like so like it's a balance. Like you have to find a nice um balance. But I'm happy that looks like y'all can tell the difference between kind and nice. It's clear differences. Like kind is always better than nice. Nice is not bad. Like nice is not bad, but like kindness is what you want. It's a clear difference. Kindness is somebody who has compassion, they have empathy. But nice is like performative. A guy who's masculine without it being toxic, I have a good balance. Sometimes masculinity has to be a little toxic. Unpopular opinion. And when I say toxic, I'm not talking about a narcissist. I'm not talking about somebody who abuses you. Okay, but sometimes a little toxic in the form of nonchalance. Like sometimes it's like you're not supposed to feel like once again that kind of goes with being neurodivergent and feeling everything so intensely. Sometimes just be a little nonchalant and they can make you look like an asshole a little bit. But sometimes masculinity needs to be a little toxic. Sometimes, but depending on who hears that, like they'll take it out of context and say, "Oh no, you could be a narc." I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Jessica, 17, bipolar 1, then BPD, then autism. Thank you for sharing, Jessica. And like I said earlier, people miss it. Some people miss it. You can have more than one diagnosis. And I definitely would like to come to Raleigh. And speaking of Raleigh, that was one of the places where I thought I could fly out of if my flights in DC get canceled. I'm like, I can go down to RDU and go to the airport there. Luckily, I got some good people around me. I don't know why I thought I could make that. Why did I? Why did I think I could do that? Crazy, 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 crazy. But yeah, it's been a really good live stream. I know we went over a little bit, but really, really, really good live stream. And great example right here. Neighbor is playing music at 2 a.m. Your wife can't sleep. She got work at 6 a.m. because she's a nurse at the hospital. Like you go in there and you tell them, hey, like you need to turn that music down. You don't go in there and say, please, kind sir, would you please lower the decibels on your music? No. Because if you were playing your music loud and they couldn't sleep, they will come over and they will have an issue with you. So toxic masculinity, you need it sometimes. Dana, I do see your comments. I see y'all. I wish I could have the TikTok comments on the screen. Like I wish I could do that. There's just no way to bring them on the actual screen. Airport online. Yeah. RDU airport. Really good airport, by the way. Really good. I have a weird special interest of like rating airports in my mind, and so like I like that airport in Raleigh. And look, cash that. I don't think that's being toxic, but I think most people will label things like that toxic. So like even the term toxic masculinity needs to be redefined because you can say there's toxic femininity. Like there's toxicity everywhere. So if you're kind, then you should be fine. Because sometimes you have to put your foot down and you have to set boundaries. In fact, before this live stream, I was watching a video of a NBA player called Kenyon Martin, a ex NBA player. He played for many years. somebody was making fun of his speech impediment. And this is somebody that he brought to his house. He fed this person, he paid this person. This person hung out with his wife and kids. And then behind his back, he made a video laughing at Kenyon's speech impediment. And Kenyon had said, this is the thing that I'm sensitive about. I draw the line here. Nobody should joke about my speech impediment. I'm sensitive about this. This guy who he brought into his house made a video mocking him about how he talks. So Kenyon called this guy out on a live podcast in front of everybody and said, I told you not to do that. This is what you did. So I have to make it public. That's a great way of setting boundaries. He's not looking to fight him. He's not looking to hurt him. He's just letting him know, hey, I told you I have a speech impediment. I don't like it when people make fun of it. So and now people on the internet can make fun of whatever, but if I'm close to you and I brought you into my house, fed you, paid you, you're around my wife and kids, heck no. Heck no. Like in that case, you have to set, heck no. But some people are like that. Some people, and Bunny, yeah, it sucks. Some people, and right. This guy, he's an ex NBA player. He's 6'10". That's the last person you want to make fun of. Who knows? But I don't know why somebody would do that. You saw a post, right? Yeah, I don't know why somebody would do that, but like you can't. People just do bad things sometimes. Right. That's what they mocked him behind his back. Anyways, ridiculous. Belmer, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. So yeah, it's been a great live stream. Dr. Lindsay Hill, how are you doing? What's up, Lindsay? Great live stream. Like I said, we went over, but it was a really good live stream. So like I don't mind. We had a good time. The next live stream is gonna be Thursday. Am I traveling? No, okay. No travel. All right, yeah. So we're good. We have some travels and not next week, but the week after. But yeah, so next live stream will be Thursday at 6 o'clock, 6-ish. Let me just start saying 6-ish. All right, 6-ish. All right. Next live stream is Thursday, 6-ish California time, which is 9-ish Georgia time, Atlanta time, New York City time, which is 8-ish Nashville time and Houston time, which is 7-ish Phoenix, Arizona time, which is 6-ish Seattle time, which is 5-ish Alaska time, which is 4-ish Hawaii time. And this is 9-ish EST. 9-ish EST, which happens to be 2 a.m.-ish for my UK boys and girls. Australia, Javo, I don't know the time in Australia. So I'm not exactly sure, but 9-ish EST, Louis, I appreciate that. 6-ish PST. So yeah, ish. But we'll do my best to make it 6 p.m. as close as possible. So that's going to be the live stream. And then once again, we kick off the comedy tour April the 26th in Houston, Texas. I will be there at the All Jokes Aside Comedy Club. I'm not going to take any risk and try and go to DC that weekend or do anything risky. I will be in Houston, Texas that whole weekend. So I'll be there at the show April the 26th at the All Jokes Aside Comedy Club, 8 p.m. Central Time. Actually, let me double check the time, but it's April the 26th for sure. Link is in the bio for the tickets. So we kick off in Houston. It's going to be a special night as we kick off the tour. I wouldn't want to kick it off in any other city but Houston. So I'm excited for that. The next show after that will be in Nashville, Tennessee, my hometown, May 31st at the Zanies Lab. And both shows should be packed rooms. I'm very excited about that. Then after that, we will be in New York City, June 11th. That's going to be a Thursday. That's a Thursday night. A New York City Thursday nighter. And it should be summer, so I don't think the kids have school the next day. But come on through. Then the following week after that will be June 18th at the Comedy Bar in Chicago, Illinois. That's also a Thursday night. So 4 great shows. We're looking to add more shows as we go. I'm looking to come to Seattle, Oklahoma City, Columbus. Those are 3 that we're discussing that we're going to add. We'd love to come to Denver. I think I've only been in Denver once, but there's so many more cities that we would like to come to. I'm excited for Chicago. Chicago is my favorite comedy town. Last time I came to Chicago 2 years ago, it was amazing. So I'm always down to go to Chicago, especially in the summertime. Summertime Chicago there's nothing better than summertime Chi. Very walkable city. It's going to be awesome. I would love to come to Cleveland eventually. Would love to come to Cleveland. We'll talk with the team. Raleigh, so many places we have to come. So we have these 4 shows, and we're going to do our best to sell them out. Have a really, really good time. Austin. Austin's the comedy capital of the U.S. right now. So can't wait to come to all these different cities. But we kick off in Houston, Texas. That's night number 1. And that's going to be a great, great, great show. So I cannot wait to see y'all in Houston. We're 5.5 weeks away. Let me see. Yeah, about 5.5 weeks away from the show. So I'm counting down. I'm dreaming of night number 1 in Houston. It's going to be such a good time. I love Houston. And Melissa, I cannot wait to come to Nashville afterwards. My hometown. I cannot wait to go back home to Tennessee. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. We're back on the live stream Thursday night at 6-ish California time, 9-ish East Coast time. So I hope y'all have a great, great night. I know we went over today, but we had a great live stream. So I hope y'all have a great night. Get some sleep, and I will see y'all Thursday. Peace.